Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. Today's video is part of a chicken hop hosted by the domestic Diva. If you're not familiar with a hop, it's similar to a collab, but instead of all of the videos being put into one playlist, everyone lists the next person's video in their description box. So you hop from one channel to another. This is the first one that I've done and I'm really excited. I will include a link to the domestic Diva's channel in the description box below, as well as a link to the next video in this hop. So as soon as you're done watching this video, be sure to check out the next video as well as the domestic Diva's channel. If you're coming to my channel from the hop, welcome. I do weekly grocery haul and what's for dinner videos, and I share other foodie content as well. I hope you enjoy and that you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Today I'll be sharing 2 chicken recipes with you. I like to make both of these recipes in batches and freeze them to make mealtime quick and easy. I'll be showing you how I make shredded chicken as well as grilled Italian chicken tenders. Now let's get into these recipes. First up, I'm making my shredded chicken. This is really easy. You just cook this in your slow cooker. You'll need some chicken breasts. I just get chicken breasts when they go on sale, and I like to make these in big batches. Here I have 3 large chicken breasts, but again, you can do this in larger batches. Then I'm going to add some salt and pepper and garlic powder. Now you can use whatever seasonings you like here. I try to keep it really simple. That's why I just use the salt and pepper and garlic powder. That way I can use this shredded chicken in a variety of different recipes. But again, just use your favorite seasoning. This is so easy to do. I'm going to place my chicken breasts into my crock pot, and then I'm going to season both sides with my seasonings. Now, whenever I'm using frozen chicken breasts, I don't add any liquid to it because as the frozen chicken breasts thaw and cook, they'll release their own juices. But if I'm using fresh chicken breasts like I'm using today, I will add in about a 1/4 cup or so of either water or chicken broth, whatever I happen to have on hand. That just keeps the bottom from getting really dry and gives it a little bit of moisture. But again, you can use this with completely frozen chicken breasts. I've done that lots of times. You'll just need to cook it for a little bit longer. I'm going to add my lid, and then today I'm going to cook this on low for about 4 or 5 hours. You can also cook this on high for 2 or 3 hours. You just want to cook this until it's 165 degrees internal temperature and the chicken is nice and tender. Once my chicken is cooked all the way, I'm going to shred it. Now you can shred this with a couple of forks or a meat chopper. I like to shred it using my mixer. When I use my mixer, I know this might seem a little bit weird, but I like to take a towel and kind of cover it like you see me doing here because as you can see, there are little bits of chicken that kind of fly everywhere. So I just kind of do that to try and save myself a little bit of effort cleaning the kitchen. But I'm just going to do that until my chicken is completely shredded. And here's the finished chicken. You can use this right away in a recipe, but what I like to do is freeze these in batches like I mentioned earlier. I love to do this when I can catch chicken on sale. So I will take a Ziploc freezer bag. You want to make sure that this can go in the freezer. And then I measure this out in 2-cup quantities. And the reason that I do that is because a lot of the recipes that call for shredded chicken or rotisserie chicken, most of the time they call for about 2 cups. So that's what I like to do, but it doesn't matter. You can just place the chicken into a bag, and then you want to make sure you try to get as much air out as possible and then seal up that bag really well. Make sure you label it with the date and what it is. And then I just put these into the freezer, and then whenever I have a recipe that calls for shredded chicken or rotisserie chicken, I just pull it out of the freezer, thaw it in the refrigerator overnight, and then put it into the recipe, and it's good to go. Next, I'm making Italian chicken tenders. These have so much flavor. They're really delicious. You'll need some chicken tenders, balsamic vinegar, olive oil, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, onion powder, and some fresh garlic. I forgot to mention this, but I will include the recipes from today's video in the description box below. If you're new to my channel, make sure you always check the description box. I always include recipes and other information there. In this bowl, I'm going to add in all of the ingredients except for the chicken. This is the marinade for the chicken, and you can marinate this for as little as 30 minutes to an hour, but of course, just like with any marinade, the longer you allow it to marinate, the better that it is and the more flavor it's going to have. And a quick note here, the recipe does call for fresh garlic, but I've done this with garlic powder many times and it turns out equally delicious, so use whatever you'd like. I'm going to whisk that together really well until it's well combined. I had to run into Food Lion the other day, and so I checked their markdown meat. I've mentioned this before on my channel, but just in case you're new, anytime I go into any grocery store, I always check their markdown meat, but especially Food Lion and Target. I've gotten amazing deals on meat there. And on this particular day, they happened to have a lot of their chicken tenders marked down, and I lucked out and got these packages. They're almost 2.5 pounds of chicken tenders, and they were only $2.80. That is a phenomenal deal. So I grabbed 4 of them. Don't worry, I didn't hoard. They still had plenty left. I'm just going to take those chicken tenders. I broke them up into about half, so I put 2 packages into one bag, 2 packages in the other, and then I divided the marinade in half. The marinade, it calls for 1 pound of chicken tenders, but of course I used a lot more than that, so I believe I quadrupled the recipe, so that's why my measurements in here will be different than the recipe. But I'm just going to marinate the chicken, and then once that's done, we will cook them. To cook these, I'm going to use this Cuisinart griddler. You can also cook these really anyway. You can do it on the outdoor grill, in the oven, on top of the stove, or on like a George Foreman. I've done them all those ways and they all turn out delicious. You just want to cook it until it's 165 degrees internal temperature. On this griddler, it just took 5 minutes because it cooks it from both sides at the same time. And here's the finished chicken. I know I have a lot of chicken tenders. Like I said, I made quite a big batch of these. You can eat these right away. They're great for dinner with some sides. But like I said earlier, I like to make big batches of these and put them in the freezer. You can do so many different things with them. You can chop them up and put them on salads and wraps and quesadillas. If you need chicken for a casserole, you can chop them up and put them in there. There are just so many different uses for this. So to freeze them, you'll want to make sure that you allow the chicken tenders to cool completely. I like to put about 5 or 6 into a quart-size Ziploc bag. Press all of the air out of it, seal it up really well, make sure you label it with the date and what it is, and then just like with the shredded chicken, if I need it for a recipe, I just pull it out and allow it to thaw, and it's good to go. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.